Hi, and welcome to Season 2 of Big Sound Small Town, the podcast that spotlights the talented and diverse musicians in small towns and communities. This season we're branching out to include the community of people who make it possible for musicians to be able to perform their music, the producers, the recording engineers, the venue owners, and many others, and as always, the small town musicians. Remember, small town doesn't mean small talent. Hear their stories. All right, today on Big Sound Small Town, we're in the Earl Scruggs Center, and I'm with guitarist Donnie Deaton. Welcome to the show, Donnie.
Good to be here.
All right. Now, have you always been a guitarist?
Yep, that's it.
You started out as a guitarist?
Yep.
How old would you have been then?
It started when I was probably 6.
Wow.
My cousin, I seen him bring a guitar in and show it off. It was new, and I was just little. I said, "Can I please hold it?" I didn't know anything about it yet, but I said, "Can I hold it?"
Right.
And that's where it started.
That's good. So you held it. How long after that did it take you to get one?
I was about 12. Mom and Daddy got me an acoustic for Christmas one year. Just a cheap one, just to see if I'd take off with it.
So,
and I did. So
did you learn to do that by did you just listen, or did you get your chord book?
Yeah, my cousins helped me.
Okay.
Darryl Smith and Scott Griffin, they both helped me get started.
They showed you chords and stuff.
Taught me everything, yeah. And then from there, it's by ear.
Okay, so you didn't take lessons or nothing after that. So how old were you when you first got in your first band?
It was 2000. It was the year 2000. I can't remember how old it was. 20,
Yeah.
19, 20.
You remember who that was and who it was with?
That was with Scott Moss, Nicholas Patterson, Josh Guffey, Brooke Patrick, and Evan Seeley.
And you remember what that was called?
That was 5 Point Remedy.
Yeah, I knew it was, but
yeah.
I have to get you to say this thing.
Yeah.
All right, well, tell me about your time in there,
Well, that whole thing started, my ex-wife, Megan Hoppus, she called me up. I was coming home from work. She said, "Get your guitar, come over to the house." She said, "Scott's over here, Brooke's over here, everybody's over here jamming." I said, "Okay." So I did. And I knew Scott. We grew up together. And
yeah, Scott was a latecomer to music.
I never had any idea he could sing.
I know. I don't think anybody did. Yeah.
And so at the time I was working with my friend Nick, and I was showing him. He was interested, so I got him started too. And I said, "We're gonna start something." And that night and I blame it all on Megan. She's the reason for that whole deal. And
that's a pretty good group of musicians.
It was so fun, and it was like just a chemistry ball wadded up. It was perfect, and it was so good for 4 or 5 years. I think it went on.
Yeah, y'all played pretty often. Had a lot of followers. That's a pretty good band.
It was fun.
And I know how bands do, because I've been in a ton of them. You hit that point where time comes. It's a shelf life, I think, with all bands.
Yeah, I think so too, and that's okay.
It is. I mean, that's how musicians grow.
Yeah.
Because generally, if you play with the same people too long, you won't progress.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what happens after that?
Well, after that, it just kind of dwindled away, and so I hung my guitars up and didn't touch them for a long time. And I had just bought a brand new amplifier too at the time. It was starting to go away. And I was like, "Dadgummit, man." And so I just had that amp. I finally sold it to somebody who was playing.
Right.
So Rich Jones, I don't know if you know him, but he's from up Falston. And so got rid of that amp, and then I didn't have nothing. I just sat around and played my acoustic. And I was working with Bill Ewing at Eaton at the time, and him and some other guys were together, the Fat Sparrows.
Yeah.
So I seen him uptown up here one day at a festival. I forget which one it was. He said, "You want to come jam?" I said, "Of course I do." And this had been maybe 11, 12 years that I had played with anybody.
Right.
I said, yes, you let me know when and where, and I'll be there, no matter what. And so I went, and that turned out to be a good deal, too. It was just 4 of us.
Was the tail end of the Fat Sparrows, kind of?
It was kind of middle on, yeah.
Who all was there when you were there?
It was Brandon Garlock. It was his band.
Right.
Eric Kimbrell and Bill.
Yeah.
Bill was playing bass, and so they wanted just a filler to come in, and I'm good at being a filler.
Yeah.
And so we had a lot of fun with that. We went on the road for a weekend. We did a weekend trip. We went to Durham.
Mm-hmm.
No, Chapel Hill. I'm sorry, Chapel Hill. Then on to Wilmington. That night in Chapel Hill was the most fun we've ever had. Oh, it was so fun. At a little old shithole shack called the Kraken, but it was so cool. It was so fun.
Yeah, that can be that way.
In the Wilmington, we got down to Wilmington. We left there that night and drove all the way down to Wilmington. We were all sober enough to do that, so we did.
Yeah.
And the rest of the weekend was kind of junk, but it was still fun just to be out and go do stuff.
It is. So.
And then Brandon said that God was calling him to go do something else, so that's what he did. I said, I admire you for that. I said, I ain't got no hard feelings or nothing for that. So,
I mean, you can't hardly have it for that. I mean,
if that's the way you feel, then by all means, go do it.
And you definitely don't need to be in a road band if that's the call.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, that's
exactly.
That's not real conducive to that lifestyle. So then what happens?
Well, after that, it's kind of before the Fat Sparrows stopped. I was in the snack shop in Bowling Springs. It was probably the last time I was in the snack shop. But Brian Pearson seen me. He said, "You picking with anybody?" I said, "Yeah, a little bit." He said, "You want to come play with us something?" I said, "Yeah, I'd love to." And Brian's been a hero of mine since I was little.
Brian's good. Yeah.
And listening to him across the street from my driveway picking with his bluegrass band, I was amazed. So I get over there to his house, and it's him, Art Mooney, and Donnie Camp.
Yep, I know.
And I'm like, I'm here with a bunch of veterans.
I played boat with them, and I played with Donnie's daddy.
Don Camp,
yeah. So.
Yeah, they're all good people, and that turned into be a real good learning experience.
And
that's the way.
Name?
The Goatees.
Oh, the Goatees.
The
Okay,
Goatees,
gotcha.
yeah. And that I went into that as a learning experience, knowing that.
Oh yeah, there's some good quality musicians there.
And we picked up a steel guitar player, Brian Hudson.
Yeah, I know Brian too.
And he's played with many people too.
Yeah.
And I was living a dream with that band because I was learning and trying to learn that Nashville number system.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking about it. I was like, I can't get this. I can't get it. And Brian would try to show me, and I'm just like, it's over my head. So there's a limit of learning, I guess.
It helps too if you're like 10 when you learn that stuff.
Exactly. Too. Yeah. So
like with anything, but particularly music.
So that went on for 2 years, 2.5.
Yeah.
And then Bill and these other guys had gotten back together. Now they'd been in bands together 20 years ago, when I was still a kid too.
Right.
So Blue Moon Jokers, I think it was, Mellow Wayne. They've been several incarnations of stuff, you know. And I went over there. I said, "Hey, I just want to come jam. You know, I'm not doing anything. I just want to come play and have fun." So, and then they all decided, we want another guitar player because Bill's playing guitar now. Greg Cook's on the bass, Eric still on the drums, and Chris singing. And I said, "Well, I'm in. If y'all want me, I'm in. I'm here because it's in the same spot we've been with the Fat Sparrows.
Yeah,
so you know, it's all comfortable, and that's where I've been since.
Roadside Alice.
Roadside Alice. Yeah.
That's good. I know Eric. Actually, Eric is one of my favorite drummers.
Mm-hmm.
I like him because he's not heavy-handed.
No, he's not.
And he sings harmony.
Yep.
And he's a good guy.
Yep. Yeah, he's a good friend, and he's a hell of a drummer.
I did, he's got multiple things going on, too. Working with Chris Free.
Yep.
So you surrounded yourself with some good musicians over the years.
Yeah, I've got to play with a lot of good people, and there's still a lot of good people I'd love to play with, too.
There's a lot of good people in this. Yeah. This county is full of, I have 57 interviews with Cleveland County musicians, and every one of them's quality musician.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, there's a lot of people here that are good, and a lot of different styles of music, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Your music has been, with each one of those bands, it's been different, but it stayed pretty much in the same vein, you know?
Yep.
So, y'all got original stuff y'all working on?
We have a lot of original stuff, and that's mainly what it is. And
that's the part I'm just trying to get out of.
Yeah, we've got a lot of it, and it's most of it they have written years past.
Right.
But it hasn't lost its glory or whatever, and it's just Southern rock. Sometimes it's a little harder.
Yeah.
It's lighter. It's a little reggae-ish. It's a little outlaw country-ish.
Yeah.
So
you can work a lot with that stuff.
Yeah.
That's the easy stuff to find jobs with.
And we've recently started working on good covers that will keep a crowd in tune. So
that's another thing too, and I learned this firsthand. You can do your own music, but if you're going to work a lot and keep a crowd interested, you got to do covers. As much as you may hate doing them, best you can do is find something that you're comfortable with, you like, and play them.
Yeah. It's that bro country. That's what Bill calls it. We're trying to stay away from.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
If we can keep people glued to us with other stuff, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, I can understand that. So it looks like the road's big ahead of y'all, right? Y'all are running pretty smoothly.
Yep. Our next one is our next gig is February the 28th.
Okay.
At the Gaston Poorhouse.
Yeah, I know all about the Gaston Poorhouse.
I've never been there, so it's going to be a new thing for me.
Well, it's a good place to play.
Good. Good.
That's I'm not going to say nothing but good stuff about places to play, because musicians have to have them.
Yep.
So. Well, I do appreciate you taking the time out. Now, is there anything else we need to know?
Well, talk about this
let's talk about
telly here I brought. I ain't going to play it, but it's sentimental value. And I got it from a buddy of mine I was working with. He thought he wanted to learn how to play, and then he decided not to, and he sold it to me. So I started modifying it immediately. And I've changed some stuff just to make it better. There's still some more changes I got to make, but I decided I'd make it in honor of my mother.
That's cool. I see the picture.
She is fighting cancer currently. So I had a lady I worked with. She tools leather, so I gave her the old pick guard for a template, and she cut it out, and she done a fantastic job on it.
Really fine job.
And I've just kind of reliced it and made it look the way it is, worn and like it's been through a battle, kind of like my mom.
I see it's got Diodarios on it.
It does. I just discovered those. Another friend of mine that's what he's using, and I love them.
That's my go-to string. But
I love them.
Those are probably what, 10s, 9s?
Those are 9 to 46.
Yeah.
Kind of a staggered set, but.
Yeah, it is, but still, that works.
I love them.
Works good on Telecaster.
It's got that pop and that spank.
Yeah.
Now, I can't do any of the finger chicken picking, but it's still got the pop and the spank to it. So.
Now, Telecaster is a very versatile guitar.
Mm-hmm.
You can do everything from rock and roll to country to anything, jazz. We can do anything on Telecaster.
Yep, just about anything.
They're my favorites, but there's people that swear by other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, does Bill play? I guess I'll have to ask him. He has some kind of B-bending.
He's got a B-bender telly, and he's just acquired.
Yeah, that G bender is the one I'm more interested in.
He got a Paisley guitar, and he sent it off and had a G bender put in it, and it's badass.
Yeah, I'd say it would be.
It's real nice.
I have a B bender telly, but I don't have a.
Yeah.
But it has also a scrug tuner on it too. Drop it to D too.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff you can do with them.
Yep.
So, all right. So, anything else we need to know?
I believe that's about all I got.
You got a favorite artist?
I've got so many of them. I've got a whole bunch. I guess my favorite, starting from day one, would probably be Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Stevie
I
Ray
mean,
Vaughan.
that's
Yeah, you can't. I mean, that's influenced America.
yeah.
I mean, I think every guitarist that is below the age of 50, part of their playing.
Yeah, and here recently I've been turned on to Billy Strings and just listening, watching him pick. Oh
man,
my God,
Billy Strings is fabulous, and he does it effortlessly too.
And that'll revert back to Doc Watson.
Yeah,
And I'll listen to Doc some too.
Doc's great.
We do cover a song that Doc did, is Deep Ellum Blues.
Yeah,
We do it in the Blackberry Smoke style, but still.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with Blackberry
I'll say
Smoke either.
Doc Watson did this song too.
True,
So,
yeah, he did. And that's the thing too. It's the good material, and a good song can be done a ton of different ways.
Yes, it can.
All right. Well, I know you're a busy man,
Yeah.
so I appreciate you taking the time to come by and letting
I'm glad to be here.
Shelby know about and Cleveland County and at this point the world your story.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mhm.